Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules. Rule number 1. No touching of the hair or face.
Of course.
And that's it!
You play as a unicorn.
I see assholes like you every day.
Every fucking day. Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here!
Not up in here!
Ma, the meatloaf!
Unfortunately, I think the amateur status of the company has come through, and they bit off more than they could chew.
And I feel totally embarrassed about that whole scenario.
Welcome to Game Theory. Join me, your host Souls, and my co-hosts, Tastes Like Chicken, Hey Carnut, and Lemon, as we discuss the latest gaming topics. Oh no. Oh no! I did it again.
Steve! Do something with this guy, please!
Hello everyone, and welcome to GameTheoryCast number 17. My name is Souls, and joining me today, as always, are my co-hosts Tastes Like Chicken and Hey Carnut. Welcome, guys.
Good afternoon.
And returning guests, Ken Payne and John Lorber from Two Dawn Games. Welcome back, guys.
Hi.
Hey guys, thanks for having us again.
No problemo. So, I noticed you guys just had a Kickstarter, and it's approaching 4,000. What do you guys think about that, Kev?
That's great. It's really encouraging. It's glad to see people are really interested and willing to contribute. That's great.
And John?
Very excited. We've been talking about doing this for quite a while, watching the success of some of the other companies on there, and we haven't been able to wait to get this on there. But it's really exciting now to see it actually going and people contributing.
I was gonna say, it just. What do you think? It seems like it's gonna hit the goal so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're definitely on track for it.
Just a question
sure
about. Just a question about the Kickstarter campaign. What are you guys looking for as the goal, like the dollar limit? And what are you guys going to do with the money? Like, what are the funds going towards?
It's all going towards beer, from what I understand. I'm not totally sure though.
Well, we're definitely putting a good deal of that money towards promoting the game, and anything that we get above and beyond that, what we need for the promotion, we're gonna try to turn that into more aspects of the game, more content.
That's always good. So it sounds like you guys are, going to use it a lot. Let's hope you. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't reach it. The video you guys released recently looks pretty awesome too. The new teaser trailer?
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Oh, it's awesome. I liked the other ones, but this one takes the cake. It's very enjoyable to watch.
I guess you finally get to see some infantry gameplay. I know a lot of people have been, curious about that aspect of it. So, finally, you can see, how, we have the aim down sights and all that fun stuff. It's, a lot of people are thinking it's just, well, not a lot of people, but, some people are asking, well, do you only play in vehicles? Is there actually infantry? And it's like, yeah. And so now you can see that firsthand.
To me, it wasn't so much the infantry inclusion. It was just the overall. I don't know if it might have been just the aspect. It just seemed more stuff was shown. It just seemed more awesome, I guess is the right way to put it. What do you think, Chicken?
Yeah, I agree. It was just nice to see actual gameplay. It's cool to show off the vehicles and kind of what they can do, but it's definitely nice to see the game just being played because it looks pretty cool.
Rob, any thoughts? Have you watched it?
Negative.
Oh, okay. So what is the part you're most proud of in the game so far, Ken?
Personally, for me, I've always liked the vehicle aspect because there's so many infantry games. I've always I've always been like a Quake fan. I played a lot of Quake 3 many years back, and I've always liked that. But when Battlefield 1942 and Desert Combat and all that, I've really been a fan of vehicle gameplay. So that aspect, really coming back to the roots on that. I know like the Battlefield series is continuing to do that, but I didn't so much like the way the direction they took it, and we're kind of getting back to old school in that aspect. So I was really glad to have that. Just the feel of the vehicles and the quantity of vehicles, and so I'm really proud of that aspect of it.
What about you, John?
Oh boy, there's so many parts.
Top three.
Top three, definitely the character models. I'm very, very proud of those. I think that they look fantastic. The animations for them are really coming along. As you got a really nice sample at the end of the teaser trailer there with the bird.
Oh, I think I did. Yeah,
the flipping of the bird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. The artists, I can't claim any credit in that area, but our artists are top notch, man. It blows me away whenever they add something or submit something. It just looks so great. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and overall art design, it really looks fantastic. Just the screenshots, the static shots alone, just really say a lot about it. And we're, hoping that the whole world thinks the same thing as they get to play it.
So, what exactly? What is your favorite part about it? Like, just designing it? What do you use to make it? Maya, 3ds Max, John?
Yeah, they're using. Well, I'm not a modeler. I'm working on the UI.
Okay.
And so forth. But yeah, they're using 3D Studio. They use ZBrush. They probably use Mudbox.
Okay, so it's pretty sophisticated tools then.
Oh yeah, definitely. Pretty
MS
complex.
Paint.
Say that again, Ken?
MS Paint,
Oh. Yeah, it's got to be done right.
Some of the some of the HUD stuff I've actually done in MS Paint, but that's just like placeholder stuff.
Oh, of course.
I just throw it in to get it working, and then the real artist will come along and put something in that looks a lot cooler.
Yeah, because they'll see the MS Paint work and just be like, "Oh, well, we definitely need to fix that."
Minor details. So, you guys have been in development, since 2009, 2010? Ken?
I've been on since 2010. I think 2009 is when they started. When did you join, John?
Yeah, towards the end of 2009, in December, I think we had our first meeting.
Okay.
And I came along in the following summer.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be about a year.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like you guys are using this Kickstarter campaign to kind of polish off some of the stuff you're doing with the game. So short-term goals, where are you guys looking to move in the next, say, month?
The next month? Wow, that's a good question. We're just starting to do some alpha testing with some friends and family. We want to get it fairly solid before we open it up to the beta testers. Some of them paid money to get into there, so we don't want to just throw them something that's really buggy. We want to get it fairly solid, and we don't have an exact date on that, so I can't give you that, but fairly soon. I know it's a bad word to use, but we want to open up the beta as soon as possible, but we're not going to do it until it's ready. Is the bottom line, really.
Would you say it's sooner rather than later?
Sure. That depends. What does that mean? It's sooner than later. Sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Yeah, I mean from the videos, I mean it looks good to me, and I love those kind of games. I love vehicular infantry combat. It's my style. I'm not a big I mean, I respect Call of Duty very much, but I just don't like that kind of run and gun gameplay. I prefer Battlefield. That's always been how I was, and I've loved Desert Combat. So when I saw you guys were on board with that, that was like an instant in for me.
There's probably nobody on the team that wouldn't agree with you on that.
Oh, that's always nice. So there's been a lot of Kickstarter projects lately, and I think it all started with what was his name? Tim Schafer, and then it was Wasteland 2. There's been a lot of Kickstarter projects, so I'm glad you guys are using that. I guess it's a really amazing tool that has worked surprisingly well for a lot of people. I never imagined it would get that big, but can you kind of tell us what it's been like the last few weeks? I mean, have you guys been monitoring the other Kickstarters or just been coding and designing away? Ken?
To be honest, I haven't followed it that much. I didn't even know about it until fairly recently. But I think it's awesome. I mean, it's great. There's so many people out there that want to do these kind of things, but what are you going to do? Go to the local bank and ask for a loan?
Oh God, good luck.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Unless you have a real name behind you or whatever. But something like this, where you can just show the actual community that can actually see it and see the vision. People that follow this kind of stuff really kind of understand it, and they'd be willing, to support you. I think it's a great, it's a great thing. What's there not to love about it?
Speaking of support, we have a question from one of the fans in IRC, or guests, I should say. Chicken, you want to roll that away?
Yeah, Gumby was just wondering if you guys are looking at rolling out some of the testing load to the guys over at Combat Testing.
Ken or John? Or is that...
I know we do have a group that's going to join us in the beta, but I'm not sure exactly who they are, to be honest. That's not my connection, so to speak. So I'm not totally sure. I sounds familiar, but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I probably couldn't speak to that either.
Okay, no worries. We've also got another comment from the same person, actually. Are you guys... Actually, I had this question, too. Are you guys planning on adding more girl models, if I could talk correctly? Go on.
Nice. We're up late. We're lonely guys at 2 in the morning. It'd be nice to see.
Oh God, I sure hope you're not doing that to your game.
No. I don't really know, to be honest.
I was going to say,
a welcomed addition, right?
In the immediate short term, probably not. But again, depending on how successful we are with this Kickstarter campaign, we would absolutely like to look at, expanding.
So, regarding that Kickstarter campaign, there's a lot of different stuff it involves with what it's budgeting. But is there a primary goal? Like, let's say it gets 15,000. Is there a place where most of that money is going to? Like, is it marketing? Is it equipment? What would you say it is, Ken?
To be honest, I don't know. That's not. I'm not really involved in it too much, to be honest.
Oh, okay,
I'm just a lonely coder,
A lonely coder. Have you heard of that other project, Takedown, from Kickstarter? The tactical shoot, Ken?
Yeah, I think you showed me that a couple weeks ago on our last podcast we did. I think you were showing me that. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that just... I don't even know how to put this, but I'll try to. It's basically the power of crowdsourcing and just getting the word out there as quickly as possible. That's what it proves. I didn't think it would get the goal. I was very optimistic, but many people didn't think they would get it, and they got it, and everyone is overjoyed. It's just...
Oh, that's awesome.
It just basically, within 3 hours, they got a lot of money, and they were able to get their goal and some more. So it just speaks to the power... I think it speaks to the power of goodwill of people, although you don't see that very much if you watch news. But
So that they hit their goal at the last minute? Is that what you're saying?
oh yeah, remember that, Chicken?
Yeah, the Kickstarter. Well, I got on board pretty early in the campaign, and just because it's the type of game that I've been waiting to play a long time. So we got Christian Allen from Cerealin, on, and we did a cast with him. And the word was getting out, but it was kind of slow going for the first, I'd say, 3 weeks. And then it just kind of snowballed. More and more attention was given to it. And then they did a relaunch, I think, with about 8 days to go. And it kind of took off from there. But going into the last day, I was out and about just doing stuff. So I didn't sit at my computer hitting F5. But from my understanding and what I saw, they were short by quite a bit going into the last day. And they just got a ton of attention. I think they got some big name guys to give it some attention, like some publicity, and it definitely met the goal and some.
And my point is with all this, I mean, I think you guys will hit your goal, but I think it'll go farther. I hope it does, because your game looks really good, and I like the direction it's going. It's got a huge amount of potential, and I think it'll do really well.
Thanks.
It's just it reminds me of Desert Combat mixed with, I've heard people say, a little bit of Rage. You've played that game, right?
Actually, I have not. I've seen, obviously a lot of the videos and all that stuff, but I haven't actually played it. I'm more of a multiplayer kind of gamer, and I heard there wasn't all that much to the multiplayer aspect, so I didn't really, I didn't really bother, I guess. And plus, I don't really have time to play too many games,
Well, you're a coder. I mean, that's understandable. And you're making a game.
Well,
that you want to play.
Yeah, true. But I guess anyone that's involved in the game really should be keeping up with what's going on. So, I'm a slacker on that side, right? But whatever.
So, have you had a chance to play any games as of late? Any games, even for a little bit, like a minute or so? Ken?
I played some Sanctum. That was pretty interesting. I like those. I guess it's an RTS. I'm not really sure, or tower defense kind of thing. It's pretty cool. Have you ever played that?
I've heard about it, but I haven't played it. What is it like?
Well, you're in some strange alien world, and basically you have a power source, and there's all these like aliens or whatever coming in trying to get to your power source, and if they all jump on it, then it blows up and the game's over. So basically you got to put up all these blocks, and you can put different weapons on them and build them up, and they'll shoot at the aliens, and you try to arrange them like in a maze, so it takes longer for them to get to your power source.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
Is it? That kind of seems a little bit like tower defense, no?
Yeah, it is. It's a tower defense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed in like late 2010, 2011, a lot of people were coming out with tower defense games, and Sanctum, I guess, got the brunt of the popularity. But so let's talk a little bit more about Two Dawn, shall we? Or rather, Ravaged. Is there plans to include close quarters maps?
We have a small infantry map that has no vehicles. See the icebreaker. You see that in the video, the one that's all covered in ice.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah. Wait, there's another one, isn't there, John? Or is there?
Yeah, we're gonna have at least there's plans at least to have the second one developed definitely for the beta. I don't have the name for it though.
Yeah, so we use that to judge our infantry stuff. Well, you got the Defend Liberty, which is a mix of vehicles and infantry. It's leans a little more towards the infantry, and so we use those maps to judge our guns and the melee weapons and all that. So we kind of go back and forth to make sure everything's working out.
If I recall correctly, that was the one in the gameplay trailer, the Liberty map.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, you see the Statue of Liberty, knocked over and all that, and you see a few vehicles on that. You see like the buggy, you see the gyrocopter, and the trike, and there's the quad and all that on there. But there's only a few of them. It's more aimed towards the infantry on that.
What's your favorite gun in the game, John?
Probably gyrocopter. I mean, well, I guess the vehicle, if you want to say vehicle, that and the I guess the MP5 light gun that you see on the Recon.
And how difficult is it to use the gyrocopter if you're not accustomed to flying, or maybe you're more accustomed to flying in other games?
Well, I definitely could fly a chopper back in the DC days, but I was real rusty on this one, and it was hard at first. And once you get it down, it's so much fun because that it's a challenge for those that can't use it.
Absolutely, but challenges are always good. I always love games with a good challenge.
So that's the thing about it. It's there's no nerfing on it, so it's hard to pick up at first. But then when you get it, there's not many limitations to it either. So you can really get away with murder once you really have it down good.
Yep. Chicken, did you have anything to add?
Saw the nut shot in the latest video that was out there. That was pretty cool. I always appreciate a game with some good nut shot animations.
Yeah. I don't think there's we have the super awesome mega kill in there, do we, John?
No.
Yeah, that was something I was messing around with when we were first doing that stuff. If you shot him in the nuts, then the head, then the nuts again, and killed him, you get a super awesome mega kill. I don't think that's going to be in the final version, though. It was just kind of a testing the system out kind of thing.
Cool. Well, I just basically just wanted to say that from what we've seen, the game looks awesome. I did back the project on the Kickstarter.
As did I.
I definitely want to play it.
Oh, thank you.
And the beta is definitely something I want to get in on. So I'm really hoping you guys make the goal of the 15,000. You guys are, I think, under a couple days in and already just about at 4,000. So it's a good start. I'll throw a link to it in the IRC and we'll put it in the comments for the show after the fact. But yeah, guys, it looks awesome so far and can't wait to see more.
Thank you very much for backing it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks to everyone out there. I've seen there's some pretty big donations out there. What can you say? That's just so cool.
And also, if you guys don't mind, a couple shout outs I'd like to throw out at the guys on the forums. I really have some people supporting us out there, and really appreciate it. Got McMaris, Amputate, Spleen, Kinsman, Gellamine, Modded Matt, and probably a bunch more, I'm sure. But thanks a lot, guys. We really, really appreciate your support and getting the word out.
Yeah, definitely, guys. One other thing, the hit register sound, I put that in a long time ago just to, for a placeholder. So don't worry, guys. It's just, it was just there to kind of bring it to life when they're testing stuff out. But we'll get a good sound in there. Don't worry.
No, it's no worries. You got to put placeholders in every now and then.
Yeah, there's plenty in there. Some of the graphics. Some of the people say, well, those icons look weird. A lot of it will get replaced. There's you have to, like you said, you have to have placeholders, and sometimes when I'm coding something, I just have to have a graphic, and I'll just make something up, in MS Paint or whatever it takes, and throw it in, and later on down the line, an artist will come in and do the real deal.
Well, I think some of the misunderstanding comes in the fact that with this this being an indie development and you guys being so open with everybody and showing what you're working on, I think a lot of people haven't come to the realization that there are placeholders in how the dev cycle really works. So when the game is in alpha still, a lot of the stuff is not feature locked. So you guys are still working on it, and that's what an alpha is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll even if you look closely, you'll notice some differences in the UI from some scene to scene as things are changing and being polished up.
Yeah, for sure. We had a question from Gumby in the chat. He just wants to know how the chopper allocation will work. Is there going to be more than one in the air at the same time, one per side? Just basically how many?
It depends on the map. The larger maps can have more than one per side. I believe Resource Control has 2 per side. They spawn fairly quickly, so you don't suffer too much when you lose one. There's pretty much every side will usually have a helicopter in the air at any given time.
Sounds like it'll be chaos, but good chaos.
It's fun, let me tell you. Just getting the alpha testing going, it's just, getting more than like 8 people playing. It's really, showing us, that it does scale very well so far, and we're a little worried about that, but we all have experience and playing different games, and we kind of know intuitively what works. So it's good to see as we bring people in for the alpha that it's doing as we expected and predicted. So that's a good sign, I think.
Cool. John, you had something you wanted to bring up?
Sure. I'm not sure how many people know about the Apocalypse Supply Kit contest that we're running. Basically, you'd be taking a picture of all the nice belongings that you'd want to have after the apocalypse and submit it to us on our website if you go and check it out. And the lucky winner is going to win a nice video card. And we only have about a week left on the contest, so for those that really want to submit an image, now's the time to do it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're giving away a nice NVIDIA 580 GTX video card, so we really want to urge everyone out there that's kind of been putting it off, that they're running out of time.
You want to say something, Chicken?
Yeah, I've already seen some pretty cool kits that other people have submitted. So, I tossed a link in the chat, and we'll add another one to the recording after.
Are you guys? Are you guys planning on releasing more media as you get more Kickstarter donations or pledges, I should say?
Absolutely.
That's always good.
We'd love to do as much as possible, but I know it doesn't seem like a big deal to just take a fraps and throw it up, but it has to you can't just do any crappy footage. It has to be up to snuff, and it does take time. I know it seems like it's not a big deal, but we're a small team, man, and we're just trying to bust as much ass as possible and get it out the door.
Yeah. So if you do follow on the look on the updates tab, you'll see that we promised that once we hit 60 backers, we would release like another screenshot, and you get a nice view of the little bird there with the player on the side. You can see one of the resistance players on the side of the chopper. So yeah, I think there may not always be videos if we can, of course, we will, but it could just be some new screenshots and maybe some other tidbits.
So are there any underground maps, or not just underground maps, but like underground areas, or is it all on flat land? Ken? Like tunnels, anything like that?
We have a few things like that. Nothing like major underground network, nothing like that. But there's some broken ships. I think you can see in the last trailer actually. Right towards the end, there's that, and there's there's a map being developed right now that has a subway. So we'll have that. And then like the icebreaker map, it also, besides that ship, it has like some pipes and that I believe the scavengers spawn at initially. So there's some stuff like that. Not a whole lot, but we'll have a little bit of that.
Okay, so there will be variety to the terrain and good exploration.
Yeah, so it's not going to be any, like Doom 3 or anything like that, but yeah.
Well, Doom 3 is a different game, though. It's very dark.
That was fun to play, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure this one will be fun, too. What was I going to say? Oh, what is it like with making all the controls and stuff? Is that very hard to do? Not just controls, but the physics for the weapons, for the vehicles, all that kind of stuff.
The vehicles was quite a task that I worked on for quite a while, several months, and I still work on them. I'm still tweaking them. I just did a pass on some of the land vehicles this last week, as a matter of fact. Like the helicopters, that was fun. There's Killing Seed. He comes over every once in a while and be like, "Hey, check this out." And, this sucks. I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And I go back to the drawing board. That was for the helicopters. Yeah, it took a while, and but it really paid off. Yeah, I think it really did. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it.
That's always good. Yeah, I was just thinking, and it certainly seems like you guys are really pushing the ball forward with this. I mean, I've seen a lot of games. I've been a gamer myself since I was like 6. I just turned 24, so it's amazing to see the development process and the struggles, the effort, the passion, all of that. And sometimes it doesn't always go your way, but it looks like this thing is going to really take fold and become a really good game. What do you think, Chicken?
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to playing it. Another thing, just back to the whole Kickstarter thing. I think if you're gonna pre-order the game, or even just gonna buy it, you're gonna get it and play it, and it's something you want. You might as well just get in on the Kickstarter, pledge whatever amount that you want to, and basically just use it as a pre-order, because if you're going to support them in the end, you might as well get on board now, because there's no reason not to.
I have a few more questions for you from chat, from Gumby. Anti-cheat, server files, and buyable on Steam. Start with the buyable on Steam and server files first. Ken.
Well, we'll have the Valve anti-cheat. And then we're going to have a global ban list for the servers. That'll be supported, and we're going to have a lot of server tools like a spectate mode. Like I said, a global ban list, and all that will be supported. So, it's like any game. There's a lot of hackers out there, and there's only so much you can do. But the more tools you give the admins, the better, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Any other? Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. I think the global ban list will, that helps a lot.
Isn't that kind of like streaming, or is that different? Like similar to how Punkbuster works with certain anti-cheat sites.
Well, I'm not sure how they do that internally, but I don't think Punkbuster supports that directly. I could be wrong, but I think that's third party as far as the global ban list. I think I'm not totally sure, to be honest.
Gumby asks, is your global ban list through their own anti-cheat? Or your own anti-cheat, I should say.
It'll be through ours, not through Valve, I believe. The Valve anti-cheat will be a separate thing.
Oh, okay.
But you are going to run it, though?
See, I'm not working on that part, so I can't. I'm just telling you from how I understand it. There's another coder that's very, very good at that stuff. I focus. There's only a handful. There's basically 3 coders really. I do the gameplay. The other guy does like the Steam stuff, and the other one does a lot of like the server tools. They're kind
Fair
of,
enough.
Yeah.
So we could find out though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can always get an answer from you on that, and then just post it up on the site afterwards.
Absolutely. Well, anyone else have any questions, comments?
Yeah. Inside Dreamer was wondering if you're gonna give more video of the actual gameplay.
Any requests? Anything in particular they want to see or he wants to see?
The girls.
It's not a bad idea.
Are there going to be boob physics?
I don't think so. I mean, it's it's not a bad idea.
Oh, he said
Boob shot?
or you could do it like they do in oh wow, I was just about to. What was that game? Insane Volleyball?
Oh, I think I've seen that.
You can see them jiggling.
But well, I know Epic came out with like some demos a while back of like the Meat Cube. Maybe add some of those kind of physics there.
Wrong type of physics, in my opinion.
Well, there's parameters to tighten it up.
Chicken, anything else? Anything from the chat? Any shout-outs?
No, just if anybody else has a question, just fire it in there and we'll ask it when we get to it. But no, I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
I know you guys mentioned something about like the recoil and all that kind of stuff earlier. Did you have any specifics on that?
As far as that goes, I've played Counter-Strike, Quake, Doom, a whole bunch of different games, Call of Duty. What is the recoil going to be similar to?
Ooh.
I forgot to mention Battlefield 2.
Right. I would say it's in the ballpark of Battlefield 2. It's not, like Call of Duty is pretty much not there, right? It's mostly just spread or whatnot.
Well, let me ask you this. Is the recoil going to have random spread? Is it going to be precise? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go a little up into the left or right? Is it going to be more realistic, more arcadey?
The recoil, it's not super huge because, I mean, it is there, don't get me wrong. We have it, but, in the network environment, sometimes it can get kind of choppy, so, we tried to use sparingly. I mean, you need it there. It actually moves the gun. It doesn't, like, auto recenter. I know a lot of people complain about that, and it's something I never really liked. So it does actually move you, and it doesn't auto recenter. So, but you can't have when you do that, you can't get too carried away, or else you'll never hit anything. So we have that, and then we also have spread, which you can see in the videos. The crosshairs grow and all that, depending on how much you're moving around. So we're just trying to find a good balance. It feels good, but it's not. We don't want rail guns for everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And every game has its way of doing things. Are you guys more of the tactical recoil, or is it kind of like you said, a balance?
What do you mean? What do you mean tactical recoil?
Sorry, I meant like tactical gameplay that incorporates the recoil, or more like Counter-Strike. I mean, the reason I mentioned Counter-Strike is because I really think, in my opinion, they did a really good job with the recoil system, and it, like Call of Duty is very exact. Counter-Strike is more random, and then you got Battlefield, which is a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of in the Battlefield ballpark. It is random, and you can set it's set per weapon. Some of them drift one way, some of them are just random. So you get a mixture depending on the weapon. So there is recoil and there's spread, and so the combination, I think, brings in a pretty good balance of those.
Cool. Chicken, any comments?
Inside Dreamer from the chat was wondering if there are going to be upgrade parts like weapons or character modifications or something like that.
Well, there's no unlocks. We don't have that because we want to pretty much have everyone on the same, playing field. Have it leveled out. We don't want, to where if you play 24 hours a day, you have the super uber weapons. We are probably going to have some customization stuff later on down the line. Like custom guns, or like textures or whatnot. But it'll probably just be visual, from what I understand. It wouldn't really give someone an unfair advantage from the way that's what I understand right now.
Yeah, we're really trying to get back to that original PC game mindset, before consoles came along, but on a new game engine, new everything polished, shining, much better visuals and so forth. So that's been kind of a focus for us, is really to not look at like a lot of the gimmicky stuff that you might get on consoles per se, but really get back to that original PC mindset.
Like more organic, more defined role, basically. Like you're playing a shooter, not...
Exactly. Back to the fundamentals of, why these games were created.
What makes them fun,
Exactly.
That's kind of one of my big gripes about, BF2 is that, you had to play so many hours just to get a decent weapon, and that really turned me off, and it shouldn't be like that. If you have skills, you should be able to jump in and, and clean up, I mean, assuming you've learned the game, obviously, you're not going to be able to jump in and just start flying the helicopters and start raking up. But on the other hand, you don't have to get all these arbitrary unlocks to be able to do it either.
Personally, I think unlocks with or without are fine. It's just the way the game does it. Like Battlefield 3, I think, did a pretty good job with the unlock system. Granted, there's a ton to unlock, but it's not like you're left with a pistol. I mean, you do get a machine gun. It might not be as good as everyone else's, but there's a balance. And it's not always easy, but that makes the game challenging. And one of the things I like with games that don't have unlocks is that you get everything right away, but at the same time, you have the same weapon as everyone else. So you could have a rocket launcher, and the other guy has a rocket launcher. Whereas with unlocks, one person might have a rocket launcher, the other guy has a machine gun.
Yeah.
So it's very, very different styles of gameplay, but very, very fun nonetheless. Chicken, any more questions from the IRC?
Gumby wants to know when he can have beta.
Ken?
Well, like I said, as soon as it's ready, basically, we don't have an exact date, so it's soon. That's that evil saying, but as soon as possible, really. Like I said, we don't want to do it prematurely. I know people are putting down hard-earned money, to participate in it, and we want to have it, solid. So, it's as soon as possible, but we just want it to be ready when it's, it won't be too long, but I don't have an exact date.
Yeah, I think people hate waiting, but I think they also hate a unfinished game with some major issues more than waiting a little bit longer. For those that want to get in on the beta when it is available, back the Kickstarter. It's pretty straightforward.
Yep, I agree. If there's anyone else that wants to add anything, let me know. Okay. IRC, anyone? Any questions? If not, looks like we're going to wrap this up. So I just wanted to thank you again, Ken and John, for making time out of your busy schedules to attend.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Any last shout-outs? Ken or John?
Oh, man. I'm blank. Sorry.
Boy, just to the guys out on the forums.
Yeah, the forums and the team and everyone that supports us, you know, it's awesome. Everyone involved.
Yeah, and I'd like to actually give a shout out to Splee. He's been moderating the forums and answering a lot of the questions for us, and it's becoming a big challenge. I see how many messages are going out every day, and it's really cool. So keep those messages coming, though, guys, because it's helping us stay alive. It's helping giving us direction, and it's real important. We're glad to have you guys there.
I also wanted to thank, as always, my co-hosts, Tastes Like Chicken and Hey Carnut. I appreciate you guys being on, as always. Chicken?
Always a pleasure. Might do it again sometime.
And thank you, Carnut.
No sweat.
Remember, everyone tuning in, that our casts are every other Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, and it is Daylight Savings Time, I believe, so that would be 8 p.m. UTC. Thank you, and have a great Easter, everyone.
So anyway, we're between banks right now. Just make those checks out to cash. Cave Johnson, we're done here.